premise on life is to be healthy. So exercise and nutrition. And it's my lifestyle. And BIOSUPERFOOD has given me what I was missing, I think. Right now at 67, I'll be 68 in August.
Right.
And I'm planning right now to race in the World 24-Hour Championships, and I'm hoping to ride over 450 miles, which in 24 hours, which at 68 is kind of an accomplishment.
Kind of.
I just want to talk a little bit about
yeah, let me ask you one quick question before we do that. Is this a race held in the U.S.? Is that where you're going to
This is in the U.S. It's in Borrego Springs, California. And it's
Borrego Springs. Yeah. Borrego Springs.
So,
okay. Yeah.
So
now, are you running, are you racing in a class, an age group class, or some other measurement, or is it just wide open to everybody?
Well, I'm racing in an age group class, but I'm also pretty much racing in the open division. Anytime somebody can ride over 400 miles in 24 hours, it basically puts you in a world-class scenario, and it automatically qualifies you for the Race Across America, which happens every June, and it's a 3,000-mile event, which you have to complete in 12 days or less. And my goal with that, I rode that back when I first met Roland back in 2008, and I haven't been back, but I'm waiting till I'm turned 70 because nobody's ever finished at 70 years old. So I'm hoping when I turn 70 to go back to the Race Across.
Sounds like you'll make it, no problem. All right, I have one more question, then we're going to get to BIOSUPERFOOD. How in 24 hours are you supposed to sleep, or don't you?
Oh, in a 24-hour race, you just stay on the bike. The key is to stay on the bike and to have somebody hand you food, and you try not to get off the bike unless hand you
amphetamines.
And
I'm kidding.
No.
I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
So
I could 24 hours with no sleep. Gee.
I've raced around Ireland in 5.5 days. I came in third. I was still the only American to have made the podium there, and I slept about 2 hours a night. So
remarkable. So you just hit it, and you go. All right. So tell us about BIOSUPERFOOD and what that's done for you. I can well imagine, but we want to hear your story. Go ahead.
Okay, so the great thing about BIOSUPERFOOD for me is I train so much, and my recovery is phenomenal. It's hard to believe that I can train. I do 3 different things. I run, I row, and I cycle, and I do all 3 of those each day. So basically, I'm training probably 4 or 5 hours a day on average. And
amazing. Most people sleep, take a shower, and eat. But okay.
And I also work a full-time job at 68. So
I should hope so. We don't want you slacking off here.
You got to keep busy, right?
Yes.
But I don't seem to get any inflammation. I'm able to stay pretty much injury-free. I've gone through our virus here. I've not been sick. I don't think I've been sick in about 3 or 4 years, actually. Right. And I have more energy now than I had 20 years ago. And I just had my VO2 max measured, and my fitness level right now is that of a 24-year-old. So I equate it mostly to the superfood. Obviously, the exercise and staying fit has a lot to do with it, and my diet also is good. I eat mostly fresh fruits and vegetables, nothing packaged or so everything's organic. My weight, which I also think BIOSUPERFOOD has kind of kept me constant, hasn't changed in the last 2 years. I fluctuate between a pound or two, so that's something I think that really helps me.
Very good.
Just to be able to stay,
Now, when you take these little capsules, I take about 6 or 7 a day, Roland. What do you take, Steve? How many a day do you take? You take the F3, I'm sure. So.
Yes, and I normally will take a couple before I start training, and then I'll take one about every hour while I'm training, and then I'll take a few more afterwards. So I'm probably not that many more than you, probably 8 or 10. Of course, if I'm out there for 24 hours, then you got to count 24. So at times it may be a little bit more, but normally it's somewhere in the 6 to 8 category.
I will bet, Steve, that you have a sustainable nutritional energy level better than anyone in the field with BIOSUPERFOOD. Now, I'm not a scientist or a chemist, but I've been around it long enough to know what it does. And when you put into your body things that many bodies never see, or if they do get it, they burn it right up, it's gone. This is extraordinary, this product. There's nothing else like it. Nothing. So I'll bet you're the best nutritionally enhanced performer, athlete in that group. I bet there's an argument to be made for that.
And we probably need to keep that secret. No, just kidding. We should get everybody on it.
It's just not the bicyclist. Okay.
Except for your competition.
Except my competition. That's right, Roland. We don't want them to be taking any. But it really has made a huge difference in my life and in my health, and I'm just a lot quicker mentally, physically. I feel so much better. The energy level is very high, and I really don't seem to tire. I'm amazed that I feel better now than I ever felt in my life, and I'm almost 68. So I'm knock on wood, but it's just an amazing product. Roland's been amazing to me. He's been, a mentor in a lot of ways, and I've just gained so much through superfood that I can't begin to tell you.
Well, I understand, and I couldn't do what I do without it. I know that. That's a fact. 15-hour days, often, mostly 15, 7 days a week. I haven't had a day off in over 17 years now. So without that kind of nutritional support, no way I could do this. Not a chance.
We couldn't do it.
Nope.
We just couldn't do it.
I'd be falling asleep right now. The other thing, when they do, I assume you have physicals and blood work occasionally and so forth. What do your blood panels look like? What do they tell you about your lab results that would reflect on BIOSUPERFOOD? Anything?
That's a good question, and I don't really have an answer for you. I do have one answer, and my doctor said to the last time I had my physical, he said, whatever you're doing, keep doing it, because it's working.
There you go.
So,
That's the best thing I can hear from somebody telling me a story about a doctor. I like that. They don't know. They don't study nutrition. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. And I can't tell you how many, I'm not talking about this being a cure. I can't tell you how many cancer patients I've known over the years. And they go in after being diagnosed with stage 3, 4, stage 10, whatever. And a few months later, there's no sign of cancer, depending on what they do and so forth. And they say, well, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. So that's quite an endorsement from the allopathic medical community. Good. How do you prepare yours? Do you just take the pills? You mix it in a smoothie? What do you do? I throw mine in a drink.
Oh, do you? I'm pretty good at taking pills, so I just swallow them and drink water.
Yeah, very good. Hey, and welcome back. Roland, what do you want to say at this point?
Well, I'm noticing traffic on our website. Some of your listeners are probably inquiring. I just want to remind the listeners that there is a coupon called Rense, R-E-N-S-E, that you can use for a 10% discount when you buy any of the formula BIOSUPERFOOD. So I want to say that. Other than that, I have been, one-tenth the athlete that Stephen has been, but it has served me tremendously when I started running in my 50s, running several marathons across the United States, no injury, no inflammation, quick recovery after a 4.5-hour run or 4 hour, no need to rent a motel and get a massage. I'll be able to be social rapidly after. And the beauty is the recovery and the prevention of injuries. I remember so well being on the starting line and seeing a lot of kids with bandages all over all the time. Or how come I haven't seen you for a while? Oh, I was injured. With BIOSUPERFOOD, there's a tremendous recovery. Lactic acid threshold as well is greatly supported, improved. For bodybuilders, we get a lot of report on that. The other benefit is that if you gain muscle, first of all, you'll gain muscle mass faster because of when you take the BIOSUPERFOOD, but also muscle mass gain will remain a lot longer. You don't have to keep working out every morning to keep whatever gain you've acquired. There are many benefits for athletes, other than otherwise your immune system, your energy, and the many other issues that we have in North America with diabetes, and I could go on. Also, if you recall, Jeff, we had Adriana with us once on the show, and she was sharing lately about her mother who's in her 90s. She lives in Sao Paulo, Brazil, and she's in an elderly home for dementia. And her daughter speaks to her every day. She had noticed tremendous recovery in her speech, but then the nurse came to her, that's a while back now, telling her how her mother was participating, was smiling, was remembering all the events of the day, chatting, and so forth. So mental recovery, focus.
That must make you very happy. That's quite an encouraging story.
Well, I've heard these stories for 20 years, but the way that Adriana came across to me, first of all, her story was also one of brain fog, disappearing, waking up in good shape.
Sure.
But then when she found out about her mother's benefits, she was very, very happy to share with me, and she wants to do a show with me. Want to do like a Zoom video to talk about just that aspect of BIOSUPERFOOD.
We should tell people, if you want, real quick, where it's made, briefly how it's made, And this is a very eclectic and brilliantly formulated product, but the quality control is extraordinary.
It's most algae are grown, as you may know, in open pond, like Hawaii or California or Australia or
Sure.
India or all over the world. And there's an issue there because of exposure to, even exposure to too much sunlight, or if the atmosphere is broken, but also pollution, birds and excrements in the water, fumes coming from Chernobyl or from Fukushima, the desert storm coming from Mongolia over Colorado. And
Yeah.
all these things affect the energy of the algae and their growth. The way that ours are grown, they're grown in protected bioreactor covered facilities, but the water used is that of thermal spring by the side of a volcanic region. That water comes from about 2,000 feet below the soil, like the geysers, if you wish, in Yellowstone. And that is where the all known trace elements or minerals are present in our algae because of that phenomena. That water is already about 112 degrees, so it's a perfect weather for temperature for algae growth. There's no fertilizer added. It's totally organic, no herbicide, no pesticides, and it's then freeze-dried, filtered, freeze-dried, and then it's blended in these proportions that were studied during 15 years, really, to arrive at the blend, at this very specific proportion of the four algae. And so that is the process. As far as quality, it's imported from where it's grown to Canada under Health Canada supervision and verification, analysis once in a while. And then as it enters the facility, it's analyzed. Matter of fact, lately, because of the FDA, in conjunction with Health Canada, each bag of the powder that comes from abroad, they take 5 samples in 5 areas of the bag, while before it used to be 1 sample. This is to assure that the quality is across the whole bag. The point of that story is that it's very expensive. It's a very slow, it just derails our timeline a lot. And then that process is done again after the product is encapsulated. They also do analysis before releasing it from the...
Sounds almost like a communist country, Roland.
It has become unmanageable, but it is the only algae product that I know on Earth that is Health Canada certified to be standard, meaning that every capsule has the same value as the next capsule.
Yeah,
and
that's something
4 algae blended in there. Yeah.
Well, that's remarkable, and that's something to be very proud of. Stephen, when you're out on a race, what else do you eat, if anything? I'm just curious. Or do you make it on the BIOSUPERFOOD, which I think is a possibility? I don't know, but tell me.
I do mostly the BIOSUPERFOOD. I also treat myself a little bit with some fresh fruit because it's
natural sugars. Yeah.
Yeah, it tastes good, you know. so I do that, and then obviously water, and I do take some electrolyte pills also, and that's it. So that's pretty much my diet. It's easy to digest. The superfood really does the trick. And you were talking about mental fog. After 12, 13, 14, 2 days, 3 days on the bike with minimal amount of sleep, we tend to hallucinate. We tend to our mind tends to be very foggy. The simplest calculations are hard to be able to do, and that's why you have a crew following you. But I've found that mentally I'm a real lot sharper since I started taking BIOSUPERFOOD.
So you don't.
It does make a big difference.
I would think some of the athletes would hallucinate under that kind of stress. You do. So you think the bicycle is a Harley Davidson? Okay, it makes it easier.
When I was racing across America, I thought I was delivering laundry, and I stopped the bike, and one of my crew chiefs got out of the van, and I asked them, why didn't they have the laundry inside of the van? Why was I carrying the laundry, and why did I have to deliver it? So
that's pretty funny.
That's funny. That's funny.
So we had one of the guys photoshopped and put in a picture of this little old lady on the side of the road getting her laundry from me. So it was
very good.
So it was,
very good. Yeah. All right. Now, the upcoming race in Borrego Springs that's 400 in 24-hour period. You gotta make it.
450 is what I'm shooting for, and yeah, I'm gonna make it.
What if you get a flat